A really big show.
If you think network television is a little boring, start your own network.
Tonight's show features Stewie Dillon's game-winning home run and scenes from the Sarah Dillon wedding. And the juggling grandpa Clifford Dillon.
The following program contains scenes which may offend some viewers. Others may experience mild discomfort, nagging backache, post-nasal drip, and delirium, followed by rapid heartbeat, swelling of the nose, throat, and abdomen, and loss of facial hair.
Get it together.
Repeated viewing of this tape may result in the loss of one's bodily functions, redistribution of facial features, premature baldness, and a difficulty in forming simple sentences. So, if you're seriously considering a rewarding, challenging career as a lawn ornament, this is the show for you.
Garbage Pail Flix, Garbage Pail Flix, Garbage Pail Flix, Garbage Pail Flix, Garbage Pail Flix. So I says to him, that elephant will not fit through that door without, the Garbage Pail Kids go to Pee-wee's Playhouse will not be seen today, so we can bring you this gross show. Bamf. Oh, are we on? Is this? Oh, hey, we are on. Oh, hey. Greetings out there. Welcome back. It's been a while.
And tonight, live from Great Neck, Long Island, Grandma Dillon's 63rd birthday party.
I think the Max Headroom pirate came back and he cut our feed his last few months. But we're back in this bitch.
Betamax and the portable Sony videotape camera, you can do just that. You can record what you want when you want, and watch what you want when you want. It's the best family entertainment on television.
We're back on the attack. Shucky Ballsack here, and the Garbage Pail Flix podcast show. Back again at least until this signal goes to shit on us. But today we have some retro trash from the past. Extra special 2-year anniversary show. Yeah, right on, right? 2-year anniversary of the podcast. Also this month, April 14th, is a historical moment. The VCR was born in 1956. The VCR was created. It's the GPX VHEpisode. VHEpisode. So let's just dive into this episode and kick it off with a request from Shuckles. Shuckles, going out to Lisa, celebrating their anniversary. This one's for you.
You're watching Channel 59 from Plainview and Channel 63 from Western. Imagine.
Molly McButter. Molly McButter.
You've got Molly now.
Molly McButter. Molly McButter. Molly McButter. Molly McButter.
So treat yourself.
Molly McButter. Molly McButter.
You're gonna love this.
Molly McButter. Molly McButter. Molly McButter.
So treat. You're gonna love this.
Molly McButter. Molly McButter. Molly McButter. Molly McButter. Molly McButter.
Now.
Molly McButter. Molly McButter. Molly McButter.
So treat yourself.
Molly McButter.
You've got Molly now.
Oh, I just made a giant masterpiece for all the greatest world newspaper nerds.
They get it together. It's a new world out there. There's no such thing as monsters anymore.
I've thought of something. Why don't we rent a video tonight?
Yeah, can we please?
A reproduction should be true to the original.
So should the picture on your video recorder. Choose a JVC video home system and you'll get a picture as true and as reliable as JVC technology can make it. Whether you've recorded it from television or shot it yourself with the JVC color camera. Ask your dealer to let you compare the JVC VHS with other systems. You'll JVC the difference.
Put a little weekend in your week. Rent a video. Your video store carries a wide selection of films, adventures, dramas, mysteries, comedies, classics, and children's fare. Don't hesitate to ask your video retailer for suggestions. In addition to the movies you already know, he can recommend many lesser-known films you're bound to enjoy. Remember, great entertainment awaits you, weekends and weekdays.
And of course, April 20th, everyone's favorite holiday. Happy 420.
All bar outlets, a new dimension of sight and sound. Scotch EG all-purpose video cassettes L750 or T120, only $4.99. Scotch EXG video cassettes unsurpassed color L750 or T120, only $7.99. Scotch video head cleaner, the sure way to clean VCR heads, beta or VHS, only $14.99. On sale now at all record bar outlets.
And I found this in the trash. If you don't want it, I can always just keep it. It's not trash to me. Spider-Man, aka the Japan Spider-Man. Japan Spider-Man. Yeah, Japan Spider-Man. Or Sugatamon. I tried. Sorry, I can't even try it. 41 episodes from 1978 and 1979. Plus a movie. This series ran overseas in Japan. This Spider-Man was completely different, to say the least. And I was blind going into this one. How do you like that? Completely never saw or heard of a Japan Spider-Man. But let me tell you about Spider-Man. How he was retooled in the Japanese culture. Traditional costume, same. OG, you know. Red and blue, all the way. Peter Parker, the Amazing Spider-Man. Photographer for the Daily Bugle. Reporter, if you will. Works for a newspaper. Japan Spider-Man had a motocross career and was a racing star. Yakuya Yamarisho. Or Spider-Man. Fighting universally, Spider-Man. He drove a car and raced motocross. A spider car, of course. What else would he have? He did crawl up walls, and over there, Spidey had the actual spider that bit him and turned him into Spider-Man, following him around and giving him advice and guidance when he needed it. How nice. And have you ever wished or hoped or dreamed that Spider-Man could transform into a giant robot and battle and fight kaiju monsters to the death? Then go out and find Spider-Man. You won't find Green Goblin, you won't find Venom, no Sandman, no Vulture, no Rhinos, no Doc Ock, no Kraven the Hunter, no Tombstone, no Black Cat, no J. Jonah Jameson, no Mary Jane, Although, if you'd like to partake in some Mary Jane while viewing this, I highly recommend it on this 420 holiday. Almost every episode, Spidey Man has to stop. There's someone that's either being mutated into a giant monster reluctantly, or random, a mad scientist trying to take over the planet. But again, no Gwen Stacy's, no Aunt May's, and no Uncle Ben deaths. Japan Spidey does fight the Iron Cross Army, which are plenty evil. I wonder if Japan Spider-Man could beat Godzilla. Nah, not even close. The bottom line is that Japan Spider-Man is better than the 70s live action that we got. This is really entertaining. Some of the episode titles here. Clever Dog, Run Back to Dad. The Treasure, the Dog, and the Body Double. Tale of a Dark Fate for a Father and Daughter. No Tomorrow for the Detective and Son. And of course, The Cursed Cat. As with most things Japanese, I am of course confused and happy that this exists. Konnichiwa, Spider-Man.
The last time I saw a movie for $1, theaters still had balconies for people to neck in. I thought those days were long gone, but then I found out all warehouse movies are now just $1 a day. We're not talking just 1 or 2 movies. We're talking about more movies than anyone else in the world, and everyone is just $1 a day. Now, if I could only just find a balcony.
Right now, rent Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom and Cobra for just $1 a day each.
It's the best movie bargain since the double feature.
The critics agree. The warehouse is entertainment.
Shaping up your video is as easy as this with the HR7100 video recorder from JVC with color-coded feather touch controls, fast shuffle search, a 10-day timer, and full-function remote control. JVC's HR7100 is simply great video, and its very affordable price makes it great video value, too. The HR7100, simplicity in motion from JVC.
Available at 6 Points TV and Video, Video Express, and Video Trend.
This segment is called The Junk Pile.
You're watching Channel 59 from Plainview and Channel 63 from Westbury.
Can't you be original for a change?
Very funny. There's been a terrible accident.
That'll teach you to mind your own business.
Who is this?
I love you, Rochelle.
Revenge of the Radioactive Reporter from 1990. Great reporters aren't made, they're mutated. A resilient young newspaper reporter, left for dead in a vat of radioactive waste, returns in an orgy of thermonuclear retribution to exact revenge on the corporate cretins who burned him alive.
Embarrassed publicly by facial blemishes. Oh, those ugly blackheads. Kill them dead. Annihilate acne.
I cannot wait to watch this. You have no clue how long I've waited to watch this. It would be quite the treat. I'm over here guessing it's just Toxic Avenger if he was a news reporter.
So
Sold! Right about now you're probably asking yourself, hey, Shuck! Dude, Werewolf, where did you find a copy of Radioactive Reporter? Well, my friend, little place I stumbled upon in the Great White North called Video Force. Video Force. Video Force. VideoForce.ca. 6 feet under the big top, thanks to them for providing us with our junk for the pile on today's episode. Good stuff. It's good stuff. Good stuff.
Ricky Coogan, Brat Pack Sleazebag. Elijah C. Scuggs, Freak Show Tycoon, an amateur bioengineer.
I can look at a guy like Kevin Costner and see a giant peach grub.
When fate brought them together, Mr. Scuggs took an average Hollywood slime ball and made something out of him.
Oh, God! This was my good side!
20th Century Fox presents Freaked. It's about friendship.
I thought I told you to shut up!
Loyalty.
I say we kill him.
Life's big questions.
How many feminists does it take to screw in a light bulb?
Oh, show business.
The public does not want to see disgusting, depraved, violent filth.
And I suppose Jake and the Fat Man was just a fluke.
It's about state-of-the-art technology. It's about Mr. T as the bearded lady.
I am woman. Now like me.
It's about Bobcat Goldthwait as a sock.
It's the end of the world! The apocalypse!
It'll make you laugh. It'll make you cry.
And it'll make a cold sore that you thought had healed up start bugging you again.
It's the kind of film Brooke Shields has always wanted to do.
Oh.
Introducing Larry Bud Melman as the President of the United States.
What's the matter? Afraid of a little rough stuff?
In Freaked, coming soon to a theater. Freaked, but ugly, but funny.
Welcome to show business, morons!
Up next from 1993, we have Freaked. I am so glad to own this finally. A van actor, his best friend, and an activist end up being transformed into hideous freaks when they stumble upon a mutant creature farm run by a weirdo scientist. I honestly can say, listeners, I have never watched any of these movies except for Freaked. I have seen Freaked, and it's great because Mr. T's in it, and Bill S. Preston Esquire, and Bobcat Goldthwait, and it's just, Freaked is amazing. If you haven't, please find it or something.
Video Force.
Or hit up Video Force and get a copy of Freaked. I like VHSs too. Video Force hooking it up with the ultra super rare Tales from the Quad Dead Zone. 3 tales of evil beyond belief. Video Force presents the notoriously rare, shot on VHS, blaxploitation cult horror classic, Chester N. Turner's campy anthology of a mother who reads a series of gruesome tales to the ghost of her dead son from the Book of Quad Dead Zone. You know you want the big boxes in your collection. Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers from 1988. Can we say hookers? Yeah. Can I still say hookers? Fuck it. Oh, alright, fuck it. Alright, Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers. Directed by Tobe Hooper about 10 years after the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The only one that can cut it. Doing yet another chainsaw themed flick. On the back of this awesome big box, a private eye embarks on a mission to track down a woman in LA's seedy nightclubs, only to come face to face with a bloodthirsty cult of lethally beautiful prostitutes. And you better believe they charge an arm and a leg. Will the detective be the next victim of the Hollywood's lunatic chainsaw hookers.
Sold.
What I saw wasn't human.
Oh my God.
It was very tall. And what's more, it saw me. This thing.
Rawhead Rex.
Based on a short story and written by legendary horror scribe Clive Barker, an evil creature called the Rawhead is awakened from its ancient slumber near an Irish village and goes on a violent rampage, killing anything in its path. From 1986. And that will about wrap up this junk pile for today.
Tapes.
So I can get around to watching these radical big boxes.
Ooh, tapes. Tapes.
Big box VHS.
Tapes. Ooh, VHS.
That are gonna look
Tape.
quite nice on my shelf. And if you like what you heard, we're gonna put a link in the bottom here for Video Force. Check them out.
The HRV 150 from JVC.
Hold for you. Call now for your live psychic reading. Find out if love, romance, wealth, and good fortune await you. $3.49 per minute for adults over 18.
Recorded video. And Super VHS offers high resolution capability. So do you want a VCR or do you want Hitachi? Hitachi.
In Hitachi's for Hitachi. The heart of Hitachi's the Hitachi touch.
Hitachi VCR. Want Hitachi. Hitachi.
Sanyo breaks the price barrier on video cassette recorders with our Price Breaker sale. Buy the Sanyo Model 3900 for only $599 with high-speed search in forward and reverse, instant freeze framing, remote control, fast rewind, records programs up to 3 days in advance, LED clock, electronic tape counter. During the Price Breaker sale, it's just $599. You'd expect to pay a lot more. That's why we call it our Price Breaker. Available at all the video station stores.
The Sony Betamax. Its only purpose is to serve you. Will expand your enjoyment to a level that was, a short time ago, nothing more than an ambitious dream.
Grab a snack. Watch monster movies like I'm gonna do. I'm gonna watch The Devil Bat. Watch The Devil Bat, man. The movie rocks. VHS, my twin brother Dave the Rock Nelson got it on March 8th, 1994.
At this time, I'd like to welcome to the show the creator and founder of Strange Tape Zines and the YouTube channel on YouTube, the Strange Tapes Strange Show.
Hi, this is Scott.
From Strange Tapes, Scott Taylor, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks for having me on. I really
Ladies and
appreciate the
germs,
opportunity and
give it up.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming down to the garbage pail.
Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate the opportunity and
Scott, or should I call you Strange?
yeah. Yeah.
Mr. Strange, Professor Strange,
Yeah.
Scott Strange, Strange.
Who's that?
Hi, this is Scott.
Tell our 3 listeners out there the story of Strange Tapes Zine.
The story of Strange Tapes starts basically with 2 tapes. One called Nuki, which is a South African E.T. ripoff.
Rico, not so fast. I love it, Nuki. What's down there?
2 space travelers
Rico, no!
are separated.
If I find out you don't run. One, good heavens, there's another one.
Touchdown, 15 seconds.
And the second with a tape called Bible Man, which is a Christian superhero video.
And courageously follow Jesus.
My brother and me kind of randomly bought these things and at a secondhand store and had so much fun watching these absurd videos, just laughing and having a great time that I got a bit of a brain worm and basically had been chasing the dragon of that early experience ever since. And it led to me hoarding videos. Mainly at first I was into horror and action and oddball family movies, and then I just started grabbing anything that was funny to me on site, like funny covers, ridiculous titles, and I just started gathering up a bunch of that stuff. And it was around late 2016, early 2017, I decided to make a zine just documenting this hoarding habit, this tape hoarding habit, and it was for Chicago Zine Fest. It was kind of almost just a secondary zine to my main zine, which is called Princeploitation, which is a horror and cult movie illustration zine. But now Strange Tapes has kind of taken over, and it's what I do. I'm 9 issues deep, 8 issues of Strange Tapes and 1 issue of an offshoot. And we're also doing a Strange Tapes YouTube show now, so
Strange.
That's basically the story, and that's it.
Oh, I got it. Doctor Strange. Ha! How can I totally space that one? Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Are there any local video stores you recall visiting back in the day?
My local hometown video stores were all in my hometown of Freeport, Illinois.
The old mom and pop video stores.
And they were Stars and Stripes Video, Video Goldmine, and Broadway Video. There were other ones, but these are the 3 that really stand out to me, especially Stars and Stripes, which I loved. Just the most fuzziest VHS memories are all there. And I rented a Super Nintendo there once. I remember that blew my mind. And I also rented No Holds Barred, the Hulk Hogan wrestling movie, from this place probably like 50 times.
What's that smell?
I was obsessed with that movie.
That's not just strange, that's peculiar.
Yeah. Stars and Stripes is now a sports bar. It used to be called Peaches. But I don't know what it's called now, but I know Stars and Stripes is sadly now a sports bar. So, R.I.P. Stars and Stripes.
Gotta guzzle my Java, man.
And since this is the VHEpisode of Garbage Pail Flix, was there a VHS that you just wore out to the point of destruction, that it like melted or caught on fire because you played it so many freaking fucking ducking times?
There were a bunch of tapes that I wore out to the point of destruction. They were mainly dubs that my dad would make me off of rental copies. Problem Child, Home Alone, Pee-wee's Big Adventure all got heavy play in our household, and basically became so distorted and staticky that you could barely make out what was going on. So those are 3 that come to mind.
All right, let's get serious and let's talk Strange for a moment. If you, sir, were stranded on an island and all you had was a Muppet as your faithful companion for the remainder of the time that you were going to be on the island, Could be forever. Which Muppet would you choose?
If I absolutely had to pick a Muppet to be on a desert island with, or puppet, I guess, I'd pick Janice, the guitar player from the Muppet Band. She's just kind of a fun, artsy, hippie chick, and she's really upbeat, and I feel like I would need that on a desert island.
Yeah, her band was called Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem, for sure.
You realize, sweet Janice.
Which she should have, I mean, in my opinion, she should have won a Grammy for. You know, she was passed over for Grammys for decades. You know.
But the point is, Janice, dear Janice.
You know, through the darker times of the Electric Mayhem, those times that, you know,
wow,
people don't like talking about.
Darling Janice.
And she was one of the core things that kept the Electric Mayhem together all those years. But anyway, I'm getting off track here.
Oh, no, Janice.
Personally, I would have said the Amazing Mumford. Yeah, because, you know, he would be able to, you know, he's a magician.
First, I wave my magic wand and say the magic words.
He'd be able to do amazing things and make things appear and disappear. And, you know, he's got that cool fucking cape. And, yeah, the Amazing Mumford. I would love it.
What was that about?
Anywho, moving along. Let's continue being serious and let's talk some tapes here. Serious tape talk.
Yeah.
What 4 tapes do you have? What 4 tapes would you
Desert Island tapes.
Would you have to have with you? You know.
That is really tough. Number 1, I'd go with my copy of Dirty Work, starring Norm Macdonald.
We eat the pig and then together we burn! Burn!
What you talking about, Satan?
My all-time favorite comedy, and I have no problem rewatching it endlessly. Number 2, I'd go with my copy of Len Cella's Moron Movies, another comedy tape that I do not really tire of. This little weird world, little weird analog world always puts me in a good headspace. Number 3, maybe the aforementioned Bible Man tape. A lot of sentimental value there. Plus, maybe I'd start getting a little nutty on the island and need some Jesus.
Until, in his darkest night, he came to realize his deep need for God in his life. Upon accepting Jesus Christ, he began to study his Bible, to memorize Scripture, and to grow stronger in Christ. Until one day, he joined the growing forces of those who take God's Word to heart.
And number 4, kind of a curveball, but my copy of the skateboard video called Mouse. It was directed by Spike Jonze for a skate company called Girl. I used to watch it obsessively when I was a young skate rat. It used to hype me up to go skateboarding and get me ready for the day. I'd watch it before school, and if I throw it on now, I still kind of get, you know, motivated. So maybe it would motivate me to gather coconuts or start a fire or something.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I'm like, yeah, it's 4:20, brother. I've been high since like.
Yeah.
Go ahead and plug something. You know, plug whatever you wanna, whatever you got coming up, brother.
I just released a movie offshoot of Strange Tapes called Cinema Grab Ass, which is available on our online store, strangetapes.bigcartel.com. Also, we're getting into releasing tapes coming up soon here. I have 2 tapes in production at the moment. The first is a 2003 shot on video comedy called Hamburger Dad.
I don't know. I guess because I'm a hamburger?
Which I've endlessly promoted and championed. The second is a sort of a mixtape thing that I have in the works. I don't have a title for it yet, but more info on that to come. You can follow Strange Tapes on Instagram at Strange Tape Zine for more info and future info on that.
God damn it! You expect me to eat? You eat it! I am food, Jeffrey! I'm a hamburger! I'm a hamburger.
I, for one, personally am looking forward in anticipation to the release of Hamburger Dad, so I'll be keeping my eye out for that one.
Yep, my hamburger.
And any other strangeness you got coming up, bro.
Well, and until next time, I will.
Oh, okay, you're leaving now? Alright.
Yeah.
Well, I'll catch you later. Thank you for coming by the Garbage Pail. I know it's
strange. And
keep it
until
strange,
next time,
brother.
keep it strange.
We still have 60 seconds? What? Okay.
strangetapes.bigcartel.com.
So what are you having for lunch?
Hamburger! I'm a hamburger.
Oh, he's gone. Okay.
Hello! Hello! So, what do you want? Did you fix the refrigerator yet? I told you guys I don't have time for this.
What's that smell?
Nuki. Nuki.
These are the biggest and baddest wrestlers in the entire world. And they're waiting to take you on in the ring. Or you can take them on with the Claims VCR WrestleMania game. This board game and video cassette puts the wrestling superstars in your corner and gives you the greatest wrestling moves of all time. So go ahead, jump into the ring. And with the VCR WrestleMania game, you could win. From Acclaim.
She's glamorous. She's talented. She's irresistible. She's the...
I'm a hamburger!
What's the new outrageous VCR soap opera parody game that has everyone talking? Predicaments. What's the new game that lets you become part of the action? Predicaments. What's the game that's hosted by Joan Rivers and gives you hours of fun and excitement? Predicaments. Now there's just one more question. Who's got it? Mattel, of course.
You'll be free of the restrictions of time. Its uses are defined only by the limits of your imagination.
The Tape Yard. The VHS Tape Yard.
Across this great nation, almost everyone has been affected in one way or another by this terrible tomato onslaught. Mrs. Williams, I understand your husband is missing.
Yes,
Do you think
he is.
he's dead?
Well,
Will you miss him?
Well,
Will you marry again? What if he's laying in a ditch somewhere, with both his legs broken, calling your name? You will have to find another man, you know. You're no spring chicken.
Lives are shattered. The nation is in chaos. Death and destruction sweeps the country. Foursquare Productions presents perhaps the funniest film ever made. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. You've never seen a film like it. This is the incredible story of the world's ultimate disaster. Vicious man-eating tomatoes grow to monstrous proportions. Faced with this unprecedented menace, the president calls upon Mason Dixon, special agent. Aided by his trusty sidekick, Dixon begins to unravel the terrifying mystery of the deadly tomatoes. Dixon is getting close, too close for someone, or something. Who could it be? The girl reporter? The ad executive? The press secretary? Or does it go higher? Join Mason Dixon in a race against time as he battles to save the world from the threat of nature's perfect eating machine, the Killer Tomato.
Ain't no time to make a fuss. We gotta get those tomatoes before they get us.
the Killer Tomatoes. You've never seen anything like it.
Tension. This just in. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. They'll beat you, bash you, squish you, mash you, chew you up for brunch, and finish you off for dinner or lunch.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, 1978, the year I was born. This came out on October 4th. I'm born on the 21st of September. 'Tis no wonder it is one of my favorites of all time.
69 on your radio dial.
3 sequels after it, so there's 4 Tomato movies. I own all of them on VHS now. I'm so happy to say thank you to anybody who helped me get all of these, all 4 of these movies on VHS.
Tomatoes. In spite of concerted efforts
Tomato
to stabilize
juice.
the situation.
And to my knowledge, there is no full box set of all 4 movies. There is a double feature DVD of the first and second movie, Attack and Return, but no box set of all 4 movies in any form that I'm aware of. But since this is our VHEpisode, you should watch Attack of the Killer Tomatoes on VHS. I highly recommend it.
Sure doesn't taste like tomato juice.
But the first 2 films, and it actually sets up the whole Tomato-verse. I know there's a lot to unpack here, from the Tomato Truck. But it has got to be the most recognizable horror comedy spoof of all time, or franchise of all time. Everything right down to the VHS box it comes in is a parody of itself. Surely Attack of the Killer Tomatoes has to be some kind of camp classic. H.J. Weeks, Art Week. From the film's opening scene where an average American housewife is confronted by a bloodthirsty tomato crawling out of the garbage disposal, to the surprise ending, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes delivers comedy, music, and furious action at a non-stop pace. There's 2 versions of the first movie on VHS. The first VHS is the media version, regular, OG cover of the tomato attacking the city.
We have received a number of unconfirmed reports from throughout the nation that may or may not be connected with this strange phenomenon.
The second version has 2 people on the cover screaming. That is a director's cut, and it is when it was first released, it came with a packet of tomato seeds. So if there's a shrink-wrapped copy out there of the VHS with the tomato seeds, you're a lucky bastard when you have that.
Take the old Mission Road. Some crazy-ass biker's got himself munched on by a herd of tomatoes. So what can we do? We can keep it quiet, that's what. Didn't you hear the police radio? It's solid tomatoes between here and Holtville. We're liable to get killed. Will you can it, you little pug puller?
I feel like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes inspired other, films of the genre of their own, like Attack of the Killer Donuts or Attack of the Killer Refrigerator. Killer Tomatoes was the originator of these, I guess. If there ever was a movie title to sum up and explain what the film was about, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes is that movie. It's about Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. And the Killer Tomatoes attack a city, and then a town, and then a state, and then the world. 10 years later, the Killer Tomatoes returned in Return of the Killer Tomatoes. 1988. And a few years after that, in the 90s, the Saturday morning cartoon was spawned, if you will. It came out in 1990 to 91, while the other 2 films, the third being Killer Tomatoes Strike Back, and the fourth being Killer Tomatoes Eat Friends, of course. The first flick sets it up the story of the original war of man versus tomato, and the aftermath of the Tomato Wars. How did tomatoes come alive and attack? Well, the second flick, Return of the Killer Tomatoes, the tomatoes return.
10 years ago, a motion picture became the most notorious cult movie of all time. Predictably, the French called it a masterpiece, the name of this legend of cinema. The Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. It was so stupid, so cheap, such a piece of steaming dog flop. You think it would have attracted horseflies. Never an audience. Now, get ready to sit on your intelligence once again. They made the sequel, The Return of the Killer Tomatoes. Guess what? It's a lot better. It had to be. As you remember, 10 years ago, mankind was threatened with the greatest red menace of all. Angry, merciless, killer tomatoes. We were only saved thanks to the heroism of a brave handful of untalented actors.
Are you Rob Lowe?
No, they're back.
This time, we shall not fail!
A mad scientist.
My tomatoes can be made to resemble anyone.
Together with a yuppie pervert, turn embittered, mean-spirited tomatoes into an army of psychotic, neo-Nazi plant life. And let's not forget the stunning hell-spawned creation who just might put out for the entire planet.
Do you want to make love?
I want.
I also cook 815 international dishes and use all the popular home appliances.
You'll see atrocities beyond belief.
You can't see your feet. Do the words fat cow mean anything to you?
You'll see how producers extracted special favors from certain well-endowed performers. It's got more laughs than Out of Africa. It's gayer than Kiss of the Spider-Woman.
Hello? The girl of my dreams is a vegetable.
She.
You wouldn't believe what she can do with 6 milk bottles and a tuning fork.
The Return of the Killer Tomatoes.
It's definitely a learning experience.
The VHS box sums up the Return of the Killer Tomatoes, the sequel. It's been 25 years since the Great Tomato War, and tomatoes are still banned throughout the country. But traumatic memories of the man-eating fruit are fresh in the minds of those who literally squashed the bizarre revolution. Now they're back. For up a mountain road, behind the guarded gates of a creepy mansion, a terrible plot is being hatched. Professor Gangrene, John Aston, Gomez Adams, a lecherous mad scientist, is hard at work, his latest discovery, turning tomatoes into perfect replicas of real men and women. Will the evil professor succeed his plan and take over the world? Can the superhuman vegetable in disguise fool the trained eyes? Can even the Killer Tomato Task Force stop the insidious onslaught? And those side in the well-endowed tomato transformation, Tara, really on? What the hell does that mean? Oh, looks like I'm at the check-in with the VHS Bandits. I see that they're doing the same review.
Look at the giant tomato, Martha.
I didn't know they grow them so big, Jeff.
I wonder where he's going. He got little Timmy.
Poor Timmy.
He ate him all up.
Find out in the stunning conclusion of Return of the Killer Tomatoes. 99 minutes. They're back, and it's time they've really stewed. And this time they've really stewed. It'll leave a bad taste in your mouth.
Believe him. It's just too incredible. Kamikaze tomato. Tomatoes can't fly. Yeah, they can't eat people either, but they're doing one heck of an impression. Right on.
Oh, punny taglines. A true garbage pail flick.
I'm afraid, gentlemen, that what we have here before us isn't what we thought.
You don't mean...
This, may God help us, is a cherry tomato.
A mere mention of tomatoes sends people into a frenzy, and everybody just goes crazy when you say tomato. There's no tomatoes after the Great Tomato War. And now the world's tomato free, So there's no tomatoes after the Great Tomato War, except for gangrene, gonna bring them back. Tomatoes on pizza, big no-no. They go for like peanut butter and mayonnaise and on their pizzas. Like Ninja Turtles, but no one eats tomatoes on pizza. You all thought that pineapples on pizza were disgusting.
We got now, hey, I'll tell you what's coming up. It's the song that's sweeping the country. It's
Wait until all the tomatoes revolt.
From the West Coast to the East Coast,
yeah.
In there between. Yeah, that's right. You've been asking for it. You've been waiting for it. Here it is, boys and gals. It's Ronnie Desmond's Puberty Love.
And you know damn well that this movie spawned a Saturday morning cartoon in the early 90s of the same title.
Once again, a Fox Toon Tone exclusive. Sam Zucchini continues under tomato siege. Or is that...
Seeds! Do you realize what this means?
I'm getting a very bad feeling.
It's soup on the loose.
We're gonna need the tomato task force on this one.
Can they ward off
great big gobs of greasy, grimy tomato guts?
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Don't miss all the fun that's fit for kids Saturday morning on
that
Fox.
90s Killer Tomato cartoon. That's a deep cut there. Deep cuts.
Mr. President, the tomatoes are not even close to New York City.
Yes.
Giant tomatoes mean bigger pizzas.
Rolling on 2. If you're feeling sad and blue, tomatoes end it all for you.
God, I almost forgot.
The town's pizza boy, our protagonist Chad Finletter, who in the film version of Return of the Killer Tomatoes is infatuated with Tara and falls in love with her, as the cartoon Saturday morning animated series went. Chad was the pizza boy again, but only this time was a kind of a little brother or friend to Tara. Tara the tomato. Tara the tomato girl. But Gangrene and Igor, even Sam pop up in the Saturday morning cartoon, which I feel still holds up pretty well as far as Saturday morning cartoons go.
Tomatoes, scene 32-1, take 5. Marker?
How you doing? Just fine. What can I get for you? Well, I'm kind of thirsty. I wonder if you got something to drink. Kind of thirsty. I'll tell you, when I'm thirsty, I go out and I get myself a Pepsi-Cola. Wow, a Pepsi-Cola. Yeah, you know, it's the choice of a new generation. Well, groovy, but I'm a little hungry, too. Kind of hungry, I'll tell you. Well, when I get a little hungry, I go out, I pick myself up a Nestle's Crunch Bar. Yeah, it scrunches when it crunches. Wow, I'd heard that. Yeah. But I'm also, it's so dry. You're dry. Hot outside, yeah. You're parched. Parched, yeah, you need a beer, huh? I could use a beer. How about a Moosehead? A Moosehead. Moosehead. From the north. From the north, huh? Or a Foster's. Foster's from the south. Down under, huh? Good day, mate. Hey, Ozer. Hey, Matt. Hey, Chad. How about a Crest? Yeah, I gotta talk to you now. Yeah, you need this.
Just satire at its finest here. I'm sorry to report, I have yet to watch the Killer Tomatoes Strike Back and Killer Tomatoes Eat Friends. I shall report back afterwards with more on those. That is all for now, and back to your regularly scheduled podcast show.
We'll never have another president as bad as this one.
I can say without fear of contradiction that under no circumstances and at no time has the current administration expended any public monies whatsoever for the purchase of the fluffy flower print toilet paper. Now, if there are no further questions...
I doubt it.
The Betamax will allow you to break the time barrier.
I mean, there was an astronaut walking on the moon, and we were watching it on TV.
I didn't see it.
Oh, you're kidding.
You're traveling through another dimension.
The phenomenon that's puzzled me is why some people settle for the ordinary when they could have the extraordinary. Perhaps its cause is simply a lack of knowledge. Fortunately, I've never had that problem. So choosing a home videotape recorder was relatively easy. I chose the Sony Betamax, for when I observed how it performed so many complex technological functions with such ease and simplicity, I no longer saw a machine. I saw genius.
The genius of Betamax.
Well, the time has come. Once again. What a wacky, weird, and fun episode, huh? Happy 420, all! Anybody out there celebrating? I hope everybody's celebrating 420. Happy 420, if I didn't mention it.
Happy 420.
And a big top thanks to Scott for coming through the garbage pail with some strange tapes. Check out his YouTube channel, Strange Tape Show.
You're watching Channel 59 from Plainview and Channel 63 from Westbury.
As well as the Strange Tape zines. If you can still find some issues out there, if you're lucky enough, we'll put the link in the description for Strange Tapes, as well as Video Force Canada, for all you tape heads out there who want to get down. Because the fact is, when it boils down to it.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on. I'm trying to have my nice job over here.
In our VHS tape community, VHS is not dead. It's all love. It's all love. For those magnetic plastic slabs of you should find them. Greatness. Yeah, go find them. And VHS is indeed happiness. Until next time, same trash time, same junk channel. End transmissions. Is that a tomato? What the fuck?
Every subject, past, present, and future.
Electra Home VCRs have all the features you want. 18-function remote, 2-week, 8-program timer, cable tuning, and more. Electra Home solid-state circuitry and 5-motor direct drive that eliminate up to 500 mechanical parts that can fail.
So go the oil around the boogie.